Now, one of the questions that comes up frequently is the question of privacy. In this particular, yes, anyone who knows this, the URL, the address for this particular channel, which is edc1200, the code for this course, anyone who knows that code or that URL is able to log on and have a look at what you put up on the edc1200 site. Now, the course team doesn't have a problem with asking people to put stuff up for that others can access. We do this all the time in our work. We're not asking you to mount the most intimate details, your bank account numbers, post office box numbers, any address. We're not asking for any of that. What we're asking you to do is to put together some ideas, and instead of writing about them, we're asking you to record them visually. Now, you don't have to put your name, you don't have to put your face, you don't have to put any identifying details about you at all. We would ask that you be very careful not to utilise material that could be considered defamatory. I don't want to start another stampede here of concern, but you know, basic professional use of material is not a problem. I accept and I know from previous offers of this course where we've had a similar assignment expectation that there is a very small number of people who have very legitimate claims to anonymity. Typically these folks are in particular situations where they have either a court order or something similar where they will need and ask and virtually require anonymity. Now, as they go further into a program and start looking at teaching in classrooms, they may have to think about how this is going to work. But in terms of this assignment, if anyone has, and somebody has already contacted me from this particular offer of the course, if anyone has a concern about being in any way being able to be identified through this work, please contact me directly at my email address. That's just austin@usq.edu.au, and we'll sort something out. By and large, though, most people don't have those sorts of either legal or personal safety concerns. If your concern is that you don't look good on camera, well, you don't have to look at yourself. But secondly, you don't have to actually appear on the camera. Now, I've stripped out all the ones, the previous submissions from this. I was going to keep some up there as examples, but I can accept that I don't have from some of those. Some people I did have some approvals for, but I've stripped them all out. Could I say, so there's nothing for you to refer to, I guess, could I say that you really don't need to be seen on the screen at all? You don't need to put your name on this activity on the screen. You do need to submit a cover sheet that's on the study desk. It is a specific cover sheet designed exclusively and directly for this particular assignment that asks you your details like your name and your student number and the URL that your YouTube clip has been allocated. When you upload your clip to YouTube, you will have a specific URL, an address for that clip. That URL has to be written onto the cover sheet for this assignment, which you then submit through ease, the same as any other assignment. So your assignment on the screen, if you want to put your name on it, if you want to be on it, there's no problem. That's absolutely fantastic. But if you have a concern about any of that, you don't need to do that. You don't need to appear. You can do voiceover only. You can do, some people in the past have used puppets. Some people have used role play. They've used cut out characters and dolls, or they've just done a straight voiceover with imagery all the way through. Up to you. Most people have sit around and they're on the screen, they're talking to camera. It's a very good skill to get and to develop if you haven't already. So what I think would be very useful to do would be to have a look at the other material about this assignment to see the technical side of it, but to realise that there is no requirement that you present or show anything of yourself on this assignment on the YouTube site. If you have any concerns, please contact me. We could probably just save a lot of space and time on the study desk. If there's something that I haven't addressed here that a few people seem to have a concern about, I'll add something to it. But I think that should be, I hope this sort of allays any concerns, or at least gives you some other options if you were feeling a little concerned about showing yourself on the YouTube assignment. it is actually a lot of fun. People who've done it in the past have said, hey, I was really concerned about this, but I'm glad I did it. It was a really good learning experience, or I learned a lot of stuff about this, or I still think I'm 20 pounds overweight, but it doesn't really matter. So, you know, view it as a double learning experience in lots of ways. One, about the content you're putting together, and two, about some skills that you will use and can use, and you'll probably see used when you go into prac in schools when you're teaching. Have fun with it. Get back to me if you have a problem.